What's crack-a-lackin', lads? What's up, as Jack would say, the Reds. Is that what you call it, Jack? The Reds?
Yeah.
You say, what's up, the Reds? Something I'd want to take your catchphrase. Mine's crack-a-lackin', yours is the Reds. I've always said crack-a-lackin' since I was a kid, so I don't know. Right, lads, good show tonight, talking about Trent. And he's 7 years at Liverpool Football Club. He's been there quite a lot longer than that, but, you know, in the first team, really. But, yeah. And we weren't mistaken for that other kid that he was mistaken for years. Remember that kid that used to walk out as a ball boy? And there was a different guy altogether. And everybody was just saying, that's Trent. And it's not Trent. But anyway, I digress. How are we, lads? On this lovely Wednesday night. Jack, how you been, boy?
Not too bad. Wish we were playing tonight, but we're not. But we will be there next season, as we know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And obviously, Kev will be taking the lead this evening. And chat, hope you all had a fantastic Wednesday night. Yeah, we'll discuss the best, where Trent's going to be in the next 5 years. Just turned 25, Kev, as well, anyway. So yeah, it's quite remarkable.
Not even his peak.
Yeah. So I'm excited for it, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you know, let's start off with the obvious, really. You know, it's probably the best right foot in the league, would you say?
Him, Kevin De Bruyne, James Ward-Prowse on a set piece. But I'd say both of them technically. Like, I'd say Trent and De Bruyne from a technical aspect. What would you say?
I know how good De Bruyne is. I know how good De Bruyne is with a pass along the floor. But I'm talking about, like, you know, 40, 50, 60-yard passes out of nowhere, right onto somebody's feet. De Bruyne doesn't do them from one end of the week to the next. He doesn't do them even, you know, maybe once every few games. He makes fantastic passes, but there's nobody in the league that passes like Trent Alexander-Arnold. You know, from you know, just the length of the pitch, like the breadth of the pitch across the pitch. Him to Andy Robertson down through the last few years has been phenomenal. You know, Robertson is just waiting there, literally not even running out of breath while it just lands exactly where he's going to, you know, where he wants it to, on a penny. And yeah, I've been waxing lyrical. I want to see Trent in the midfield. I've always wanted to see him in the midfield for years. But you know, we have to talk about the good things that he's done as well as a right back. You know, he's been an orthodox right back, to be honest with you. You know, he's not your typical right back. He's more of a defensive right midfielder, if anything.
Yeah, I was going to say, ask you, Kevin, chat, let us know. It's one of them, innit? I think the biggest compliment that anyone could ever give to Trent is when you listen to Pep Guardiola speak about Trent. You look at him when we play City, he's always poking him. It's like, get off him his ass. Yeah. He would, if Pep, probably wouldn't say it on record, but if you had to ask him one player that you could take out a whole of European football in terms of elevating his side to even greater heights, I think it would be Trent, Kev. Like, if you put Trent in that City side, it would probably look like a lot more Champions Leagues, a lot more Premier Leagues for that matter, even though they've won a lot anyway, mate. But as you said, there, mate, it's the modern day era of, I think we all, especially I grew up watching Robbie Carlos, obviously, especially Dani Alves down that right-hand side. Not necessarily one that would be classed as a defensive right-back, Dani Alves, but what he did do in that great Barcelona side under Pep and the other great managers is he was marauding down that right-hand side. But from a technical aspect, Kev, it's the last 5-10 years of fullbacks have been very interesting because it's not just
very different
bombing forward. Now it's more a case of what can you do when you get to that byline, when you get 30, 40 yards away from goal, not just to look up and just spam a crossing. It's what Trent offers, Kev. I don't know how you feel, mate, when he gets in those areas, is his vision. You can see everything, and that's what great players do. Like, his vision is unrivaled.
Second to none.
Especially in terms of defensively as a fullback, mate. Everyone goes Kyle Walker, Kev, but Kyle Walker's a great right back. But I think from a technical aspect and attacking wise, I'd say Trent is the best attacking right back in world football. I mean,
if you go back to the days of Ashley Cole on the left hand side and stuff, I'm kind of taking, you know, out of context. I know it's on either side, but you know, Ashley Cole was a good left back. He was kind of him and kind of Glenn Johnson at the time were kind of more not quality. So they were kind of around that genre of where more fullbacks or more right backs and left backs bombed on a bit, right? But but still were able to do kind of a job defensively. But if you look and you compare them to the likes of Trent, where Trent, when he's in position, can defend. When he's out of position, he finds it hard to track back and get in there. That's the risk that Klopp's system takes. I don't really blame Trent for that all that much. That is the system, and that's the way it works. They're higher up the pitch. That's it. It's the same thing kind of happens to Andy Robertson when he's left a bit isolated as well on that side over there, but nobody really says too much about that. They always kind of go at Trent because the ball goes over his head or something, but it does the same thing to Andy Robertson. It's just how fast they get back. The problem with Trent in recent years is that he's jogging back rather than legging it back. So that would be my only qualm with Trent's game. Everything else in his game is outstanding. He's crossing, his link up play is brilliant. He can pick somebody out, as I said before, on a penny. So he's second to none. The days of gone by of right backs and left backs are long gone. I don't even think there is a right back or left back anymore. In the majority of teams, it's more there are right wing backs or orthodox wing backs. I agree with Nigel there in his comment. I agree. I think Trent should have been moved into the midfield a couple of years ago, and we brought in a proper right back that can bombard up the wing as well. We need somebody that just likes to concentrate on that, because Trent, his skill set is too good for the positions he's in. That's the only way I can say it, and that can be distracting to him as well, because he knows he can do better. He wants to be in the midfield, so he drifts inside. Look, it's revitalized him a bit more with the inverted fullback role that he's playing right now.
Yeah.
So and we're seeing a better Trent than we did a season or so back. But other than that, there's nobody really rivals what he does, what he brings to an attacking sense in the team, and and he still gets in and tries to defend as best as he possibly can within his skill set.
Yeah, 100%. And big up there, chap. Big up Eamons. Big up Panov. Big up Redbeard as well. Hope you're all well. Big up Nigel. Hi, Jack and Spider and chat. Personally, I think Jürgen and Pep should try Trent centre midfield, controlling the flow of the game. And it's a great comment there, Nigel, as Kev's just read it out there. It's going to be interesting, as we said, top of the show, the next 5 years for Trent, really, in terms of how his, not career, but in terms of his development in this new Liverpool system, not just for Trent, but as we spoke about with Kev and Ricky last night, is how Liverpool evolve in this second phase under Jurgen Klopp, with all these new young talented players coming into the squad. Now and as Kev alluded to, the modern day fullback now is a lot more sexier than it was when you like the likes of Gary Neville and the classic old guard. I think us all as kids, when we were coming through, or when we played in the park or whatnot, whoever played left back and right back, it was like, yeah, you're the worst of the worst, or you can do a job. You might be a bit more physical than other people, and you've got a slight bigger engine.
Jamie Carragher said it best. Nobody wants to grow up to be a Gary Neville.
Yeah, so there we go. So yeah, 100%, man. 100%.
No, look, I'll be honest with you. If the Ramsey situation had developed a bit more on that right hand side, and he didn't get injured as early on as I think Klopp would have developed him as the right back, and I think we would have seen Trent in that midfield role, because I think Klopp had an idea for Fabinho to go eventually anyway, and he could see it in the cards. So I think he wanted to train up Trent to get into that role, really a defensive midfielder, or at least more of a box-to-box midfielder, which I think would suit him, rather than just being a sitting midfielder. I think that's more of what McAllister's trying to play right now, because he tries to get forward quite a bit as well when he gets in there. But yeah, look, it's tough for Trent, man, because he's so gifted in one aspect, but then he hasn't shown it what he can do in that CDM role really yet. And I think if you're asking me, he'd prefer to be where Szoboszlai is right now, in that position. That's exactly what he wants to be. The old Steven Gerrard position. So
it's going to be very interesting, Kevin. Chat. Make sure you are smashing a like button as well on the channel. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Massively does help out the YouTube algorithm as well. 100% there, Kev. We've got a lot to go through in terms of tonight's show, chat, so we'll keep the ball rolling anyway. But big up to Redbeard's comment here. Hey, man, say Trent will go to Real Madrid in 2 years. No chance. He's our future captain, and that always has been his dream. Trent is class. Redbeard, I'd agree, mate. He's staying at Liverpool football.
He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, everyone goes, "Oh, Gerrard nearly left." No, Gerrard nearly left because it was at that period.
Shambles.
Yeah, it was a mess. Like, and even he said he's done countless interviews. We've all seen it, and he said, yeah, he did debate it, but in the end, when he looked deep, when he spoke to his family members, he was like, "No, I couldn't have let that happen anyway." He's a red through and through as well. But big up there, Nigel as well. Make sure you are smashing the like button as well.
I know a couple of Evertonians that would have done that or did do that anyway.
Yeah.
You know, so
well, most of Liverpool's legends and Everton's legends are all like they're all Everton fans that play for Liverpool and Everton fans that play for Liverpool, vice versa as well. So it's a bit mad how it works out anyway. But hey ho, in terms of Trent as well, Kevin chat, as we know, Trent said, well, it was back on the 25th of October 2016 that he did make his debut, making his first appearance for Liverpool in a 2-1 Liverpool win anyway. Obviously, a brace from Daniel Sturridge. And he's gone on to make 281 appearances for Liverpool, Trent. And as we know, Kev, he's won the absolute lot anyway, in all honesty. But I'm pretty sure he'll go as long as he's healthy in footballing terms as well. He'll probably go on to smash 500, 600, 700, hopefully even more than that.
Yeah,
obviously won't. I don't think he will reach Callahan's record. I don't think anyone will in the history of our football club, because that is some going. But how
doesn't get Trent? He doesn't get injured that often, though, Trent.
Touch wood.
If he can say, if he can say it, like, if he can stay that way right into his 30s, you know, I think it all depends on every competition. Yeah. For him to play these games, he'll want to be playing every game, and he'll want to be playing in all of these little third rounds and fourth round games in the FA Cup and the League Cup and all of that. And if Klopp doesn't play him and he's resting him already, he's never going to hit those heights. So he already knows that it's at that case. But if he is going to get played more, we'll see. Then
for the young lad that come in, Kev, did you anticipate for him personally to have this historic rise in which he has showed in the last 7 years or 8 seasons, which it is now? Obviously, it's been 7 years, but it's now going into the 8th season. Trent being in the first team for Liverpool.
I did in the midfield. Because I watched it when I was watching him in the youth level, you know, I thought, like, man, this boy can pass a ball. He's got a great strike in him, you know, and he'd play a bit forward and he'd play a bit more towards the midfield when he was in the youth setup. But then, you know, being brought in and getting played in the right back position, I was kind of like, I don't know why these things, you know, we're just like plastering over cracks again, and you know, he's made it his own since. So, you know, it's a funny one, that, you know, so it's a real funny one, because I mean, you had other people that came through the ranks and never kind of made it. Steve Warnock and all these kind of guys that never really made it in the squad, you know, never really got the opportunity or never really made it to that level. But yeah,
the best thing with Trent, mate, and you only have to, we've probably all of us have seen the countless interviews that a lot of the academy directors as well, Alex Hinglethorpe, anyway, completely butchered that. Obviously, one of the head academy lads.
Oh, you got it. It's Hinglethorpe.
Hinglethorpe obviously played a massive role in Trent's development as well. There's countless quotes in the new. Well, saying it's not it's a new first team facility, but it's always been the academy for the youngsters as well, and the countless quotes that he's had down the line. He wants to be captain of Liverpool, which he already has been, but in terms of a regular first team captain. Post Virgil van Dijk, it will happen, as Jack's already alluded to. But you were ranting and raving, really, and quite rightly so, as you alluded to there, Kev. It's not just a case in point he turned 16 and he become the player he is. He's been working so hard, Trent, from the age of 10 onwards, or even before that as well. The lad's got special talent, and sometimes, Kev, you'll know, as obviously younger days playing football, some lads in football, and the majority, and that's what makes them great. Obviously, hard work and determination and elevating your craft to extreme levels helps. But Trent, for me, is one of those players that is just naturally gifted, really. He can, as we spoke about, the vision of the lad. That's something that maybe can be taught, but in terms of the understanding and the reading the game, Trent is second to none, really, in terms of how he's developed.
Yeah, look, Trent is he's an enigma in a way. It's very hard to kind of pinpoint. He's a very competitive person, but he doesn't show it too often on the outside. But he very much is. You've seen that little competition him and Robbo had in those first season or so, coming in for the amount of assists. Never in the history of the Premier League has two wing backs like that gotten to those levels at exactly the same time. And like Trent outshot him by like an assist or two, but they were in their mid-teens of assists, you know. So like, you have to give props on both sides for that. And it Trent suits Klopp's system, and that's you know, it works that way for him. He doesn't. It's very rare he gets closed down that often. I think Trent can have bad moments within games, and we'd still win the game, and it doesn't really matter, you know. I mean that's the main thing. So we can't be turning around and saying if buts and maybes. If we win the game and a couple of people have had bad moments, they learn from it, they move on. You probably don't see those similar type of moments again. I think the only one bad game that he had that I remember was the 2-1 that we lost to United when Rashford gave an absolute awful time. In that
baptism of fire.
That one, yeah, because you know we were playing a completely different style at that stage, and United still weren't the greatest team ever. Where we you know, they were able to catch us out. So I don't know, like Trent can only go from strength to strength. I do still want to see him move into the midfield. He's at 25 now. He can still do another 7 or 8 years in the midfield. You know, it will always be talked about. I remember when Trent was like the best right back in the world there for a few seasons, and then we moved him into midfield and became one of the best midfielders in the world. So like, I'd like to be able to see that as well. Like if you had 3 sitting centre midfielders without a CDM in there, you could possibly play McAllister, Trent, and Szoboszlai in there, because give enough props to Szoboszlai and McAllister. McAllister's been left on his own most of the time, but Szoboszlai does get back and help him work. You know, what I've noticed the other day is that Gravenberch does it now as well. So that's where we were seeing a lot in his game as well. You put the two of them on either side of, or any of the two of them on either side of Trent, and you're laughing. Jones not so much, Elliott not so much, getting back with the tackles. And Jones, great player that he's becoming now, is more of an attacking minded player, and it shows when he's playing. But for Trent to play in that middle of the park, and you know, you're sacrificing a Gravenberch or a McAllister on that side to come in and play next to him. So I don't know. I think it suits him with the inverted full back right at the moment. Love to see him in the midfield, but not until somebody goes, really. That's important.
It's probably one of the biggest question marks, Kev, and it's a great point you've raised there and chat. I think we've done countless videos. When you were talking there, Kev, I was just thinking, like, even if Liverpool did go to a 4-3-3, I think the one...
I don't think you're supposed to be listening to me.
Yeah, I can multitask when I want to. Someone else. I was thinking with Szoboszlai in front of him, no, Kev. We've all of us cried out as Liverpool fans. Trent needs protection.
Yeah, he does.
And I think Szoboszlai, from a defensive point of view, as we've all done. Happy birthday to Szoboszlai, by the way. 24 years old, which is mad. He's only just turned 24. We've got hopefully another 7 years of Szoboszlai at Liverpool.
Was he 24, 23? I thought he was only 22 when he joined us.
Is he 20? He's better if he's 23.
Yeah,
Chat.
Look that up first.
I might have got that wrong. Whatever it is.
No, you probably got it right. I just have 22 in my head for some reason.
Yeah, happy birthday to Szoboszlai anyway. But in terms of if Liverpool were adapt or go back to and revert back to the 4-3-3, I think now Liverpool have fundamentally got the players required to play that formation great again. Because I think when everyone's fit, it'd be inform Ibu, inform Van Dijk, Alisson, Robbo, Trent, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberch, or whoever it is. I think Liverpool long term will eventually go back to the 4-3-3. But at this moment in time, it's that adaptability is the key word. It's the new fresh thing for Liverpool in recent months. We've been changing formations, 4-4-2s, diamonds, everything, and it's working. But it's a string to our bow, as they say, not just for Liverpool, but I think for any team, Kev, if you've got that ability to play different formations. But when you've got players like Trent, and mainly Trent, it's Trent show tonight, he gives that option and versatility to very much play different styles. And that's fundamentally what makes a great footballer and makes his team even greater.
Yeah. Look, it's Like we wax lyrical about some of the stuff that he's achieved so far. I mean, we're on a track at the moment. Not wantingly to be there, but we're on track at the moment for the majority of these players that are winning this team at the moment. Or should I say I should say a handful, not the majority. To win every possible trophy they could have in a Liverpool shirt. Your Virgil, your Matip, your Gomez, your Trent. Your Salah, your Robbo. It's all of these guys that are there. Everybody else is kind of left or only came in a bit later on. All of these guys have been there throughout every trophy. So fair Ali, sorry, as well. So these guys, I think, deserve the whole, hoo-ha, as they call it. We're stuck in the Europa League now at the moment, which we are. It's great. It's a learning curve for bringing it. I think it's a perfect learning curve for bringing in Szoboszlai and McAllister, and the fact, like, we have to remember that people were saying, like, who's Liverpool going to get, who are this. We pull these guys into this club while
Europa
League football, and that'll tell you just the appeal of wanting to play under Jurgen Klopp and to play for Liverpool. So it's a mixture of both, really. Like, I mean, we could say it's just to play for Liverpool, but it's a mixture of both, because Jurgen Klopp is Liverpool and Liverpool is Jurgen Klopp. He gets the club, we get him, and he's built Trent up into be what he is. Would that have worked the same under your
Rodgers?
Nah, it wouldn't. Trent probably wouldn't have seen again. It would have been another what's his name? The guy that was on the left hand side, that kid Ben
Flanagan.
Flanagan, and yeah. So in the midfield, he just wouldn't have seen game time. So I don't know, man. It's Trent can only go from strength for here. I hope the full back thing works out for him. But there has to be competition thrown in there as well. There has to be rotation thrown in there as well. So maybe it comes to a point where, as Trent gets a small bit older, he'll start rotating with them or something like that. We've got that kind of player, or he'll start, moving in there. Unless he can, now would be the absolute perfect time for Trent, I thought, to move into this central midfield defensive role, because there's nobody there to play it. McAllister's only filling in there. If you had a fit team, you'd want McAllister further up the pitch to link up with the lads in front of him. And to link up with Szoboszlai to right, opening up space by keeping the ball at his feet like he does when he's going forward. He can open up Szoboszlai for strike after strike after strike. So it was ideal for me to think that Trent would have moved into the midfield. I remember him trying him in pre-season a bit, and something didn't work out, and then maybe they got like a bit of maybe it's too risky, and it's hindered him a bit with that. But I still would like to see him try out for that central defensive midfield role, and just to see what way he can tackle and position he can make. But not really. He's never going to be a CDM, like, ever.
I think
he'll be a box to box midfielder that can tackle. Same as kind of Szoboszlai is, really, but a bit more defensive minded, I think.
Yeah, he suits the 3-box-3 formation. I think he was that sole number 6. I think he would struggle, because it's a completely different game when it's just a 1-6 on your own. I think that you have to be more favoured to be a Mascherano or a Kante type player, someone that is very agile, willing to put the foot on the line anyway. I think that, as you already alluded to, Kev, at the top of the show, that would stagnate his game. It would stop what he does best. But as you said, Kev, that more advanced attacking role or midfielder role would fundamentally
to play that formation, Jack. The only person that's going to lose out in all of this is Andy Robbo.
Yeah.
Because to play that formation, we're going to have to bring in a left-sided centre-back that can play maybe a bit wider as well, and leave Verge just sit in the middle, really, and of him and Konate. And I actually think that Joe Gomez would benefit from that as well, because I think he can play on that right-hand side of the defence role a bit better, and he can step out into that as well. So, people are going to benefit from it, and Andy Robertson would have to completely change his game to become that rotational person at the left-hand side of that box midfield. But then, what have you got? You got Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberch, Elliott, Jones, all battling for that 2 position at the top of that box, So it's what you want, yeah. But I mean, you still want to give everybody as much game time as possible, if you can,
It's and as we've already seen, Kevin Chat this season, he can play that quarterback role as well. I think there's been a couple of times already this season where when we've played that three box three formation, he's slotted right into the centre in that quarterback role where it's bad enough teams giving him more space, but in that role where he drops into the centre back position, like the whole pitch is lit up even more in front of him.
Yeah.
To get to everyone's comments as well, it absolute bloody legends. It all smashed it this evening as well, chat. But if you're on the post match, if you're watching on the repeat, do get your comments in the comment section below. We'll always get me, Kev, or anyone on the channel will always get back to your comments as well. Big up there, Panov. All right, Tom Lab. Obviously, Diev getting a 12 points deduction, which is farcical, really, when you compare. No, we'll be here for another hour, Kev, but.
Look, I know, but I get it. But it just to kind of quickly point that out.
In terms of Man City,
if the rules are broken and everything get that severe of a punishment, what's coming City's way? If nothing comes their way, dude, heads are going to roll. Like people are going to call out. It's going if something like that happens, and it's not like if Man City beats us fair and square in a league, I don't mind it or whatever. It's no problem to me. If somebody else goes on and wins the league fair and square, I don't mind it. But because of the actions taken behind the scenes, I don't want to see that in any club anywhere. If we were taken over in the morning by an oil baron or whatever, I wouldn't want to see that at my club. I want to see the amount that we could. I'd want to just see sustainability and leave the club sustain itself. Now, in saying that, FSG have done that to the extent when they've needed to or desperately needed to. They haven't done it when we wanted them to, and that's the most people's biggest problem. But in saying that, if Ev get done for 12 points deduction, man, like if you're talking, that's one with a trail off of misdemeanors and a big one at that for going over the spending cap. Then if City have done the same, but also cooked the books, created multiple different companies to sponsor themselves and to just launder money basically to go through the club, and and they're using a team of lawyers to do it. Eventually they'll crack. Like, books can't lie. If they lie and there's the discrepancies, they're like, all right, so how did this get into how that? They'll eventually find out. It'll take longer. People are wondering why it hasn't happened yet. It's 145 charges. Is that what it is? 145 charges against Everton's one. And if they get done for one of those, it's the same as Everton. So they get kicked out of the league. Yeah, so it's that bad. Yeah.
I was going to say even relegating them to the bottom tier of football. I don't think that's even a good enough appeal, but that's another show for another night. I think we've already guessed what our show tomorrow night will be.
Yeah.
So we'll speak about that tomorrow anyway. Big up there, Mark. Massive thank you for dropping the links in, mate. Hope you've had a fantastic day, matey. Robbo should have been captain. Big up there, Geordie. How are the lads?
How are you?
Yeah, obviously currently playing Dortmund. Not too sure, Geordie.
I'll check the score on that. Yeah, I'll check the score on that.
Mark, I think it won't be too long, mate. Obviously, I think since the game time, as we've all seen him play for Liverpool, he's been absolutely exceptional. I think he's currently just playing at like 30-40% of his capacity, really, as a player. As I was speaking to you a couple of months ago anyway, when we signed him, I was more excited to see Gravenberch in a Liverpool shirt ahead of Szoboszlai, considering obviously a couple of weeks later, Szoboszlai's had that great start. I think the type of player that we brought in with Gravenberch, I think he is £100 million player, and we got him for 40 million.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous.
Steele, he's a really good player. Yeah, really good player. I mean, I potentially feel for McAllister within the side if we get a good CDM in. I'm thinking that he'll see a little less game time than what you would think if Gravenberch hits the ground running as much as Szoboszlai has. But it's good to have these kind of players in there to rotate between the teams. So yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great to see, to be honest with you, if it is in it, because I do want to see players of that caliber come in the door, and I want to see players of that caliber battling for the CDM spot as well. So look, Endo, I think it'll be a good backup, and we need him for smaller games and less riskier games. But yeah, we'll see how this, if it is this Andre lad that comes in January, we'll see how he gets along. And I don't know what's going on recently with all these Osimhen links. What's going on there?
Oh, right. It's probably those nonsense from Italy anyway. We don't have enough players available we can't play like 15 players up front. I'd love him as a player, but I don't think
you're literally saying goodbye to Jota and Nunes straight away.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, crazy. Talented player, but unless he can play, I don't think he'd be happy sitting on the bench. I tell you that now.
Nah, he won't sit on the bench.
Pick up there, Nigel. If Trent was a centre midfielder and the captain, I think we'd see a big difference in his performance. He's a semi-professional chess player, so has tactical genius as well. And obviously, he's I was speaking to him this week. He's bought a percentage in one of the F1 teams as well. So obviously, he's a big fan of F1. So
yeah, same.
I think alongside him, Joshua, Juan Mata, and a couple of other good personalities. I think they are like investors into the team. So like it's interesting anyway. If you haven't checked it out, go and check it out. He's done a couple of interviews, really interesting stuff. I feel John will be our captain next. We've got plenty, Mark, haven't we? But obviously the diamond, well, some of our best formation. Chat, what's been your favourite Trent moment so far? Obviously only 25 years old, just turned 25. But I think we all know the top one. But if you can pick of a Trent moment before we conclude this evening's show, get it in the comments. Let us know really what stood out for you. Was it just a moment of brilliance, or was just the realization of like bloody hell, how much of a special talent this lad is? Yeah, Mark. Tell you what, Dom Solanke's actually playing quite well this season. But Mark Trent will be there until he retires. Dom will be the same age, give or take as well. Big up there, Henry. Massive thank you for popping in. Hope you enjoy your tea as well. Whatever you're having. Trent is 3 years older. Yeah. Anyway, as Nigel said, Trent's parents should be extremely proud of him for a nice guy and top class sports person. We are very lucky as well. Yeah, I think the countless interviews that I think Trent's done, it's really important that and given the interviews he's given, speaking about his family, he's got the right people around him, and Kev. That's so important for any footballer. But you can instantaneously really you just get it from his personality. He's a hard worker, family person as well, and he's extremely proud to be a Scouser as well, even better.
Yeah, I can't tell you much about being a Scouser. I just support him. But I mean, Scousers are very, very similar to Irish people. I mean, the Scousers are born and bred out of Irish, really, and Scottish, and there's a bit of Spanish thrown in there as well, and a bit of Chinese. So that was the main
Scandinavian as well.
Scandinavian, yeah, as well, yeah. So yeah, and I thought I said them first, but yeah, look.
Probably did. Yeah.
It was, no, I didn't. I just realised. And yeah, look. Oh, by the way, Celtic have gone 1-0 up in Atletico Madrid.
Have they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So nice. Yeah. My act is out the window.
They'll turn that around, I'd say. But yeah, look. Trent can, as I said before, Trent can only go from strength to strength. He's won pretty much everything he can out of the flap now at the moment. Now he's got to do some. He's got to do some soul searching in the position that he is. Is he going? Does he really want to move into the midfield? Does he really want to stay in the inverted fullback? Is he going to stay as a right back? These questions are going to get asked him sooner or later, because Klopp was in this next season. So Klopp is going to start bringing in that backup, whether it be Ramsey stepping back in and coming up, or whether it be somebody else, being brought in as a bigger name. But that question will be asked, and then it'll also be asked of if somebody comes in like that and they do take the places away from Trent. Where does Trent himself see himself? So it's all it needs is just somebody of nobody's going to get the same passing that you will out of Trent. Nobody's going to be that good that I can see on the market. But what you will get is somebody who is probably better defensively and positionally. But look, that's only just his new role. His new role in his inverted fullback has been very good. He's been, I think John Stones was starting to play a bit of it when he was with Man City as well. But it was after that Trent played it and Klopp started playing that role that they were testing it out. So the Klopp spots things that we don't. He sees it. He works on it. We were complaining last season about the fact that we didn't have much formational sense to change in games. He's worked on that with the current team, but he needed the players to come in and do it as well. You know, Manny leaving was a big loss that time. I left the gap.
Well.
Bobby leave this season. Well, Bobby leaving this season, yeah, but even last season with Mandy gone, and then I think it all started with Wijnaldum leaving at the start. We never really recovered from him leaving, and you'd see the importance of what he did within the team behind the lads. So you know, it's like you don't know what you have until it's gone, that kind of way, you know. But look, these new lads have come in, they've stepped in, they're levels again above, and they just need the right fella to protect them behind and to protect in front of the defence. And I think we're good to go then. And I think we'll be thereabouts at the end of this season. I really do. I mean, we're 3 points off Spurs of all people, up in the top of the league. So, you know, Ange has done a great job with them at the moment. But
and this notion of Ange being the only person that's come in and had the impact in which he's had, I think everyone's forgetting Ranieri, a certain year, Klopp as well, coming into Liverpool. I get they've had a.
Do you remember Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in and won the first 10 games at United? And then in a row, and then look what happened there. It's just, these things happen. You get a good atmosphere in the training ground, but then
second wind.
You get the feelings, they start creeping up, and then they're like, oh no, and then you know, once that bubble is burst, it's burst. So the difference is that, you know, there's a mindset rather than a feeling. Klopp's got a mindset behind their feeling-based gameplay, and it's worked so well for us at the moment. So yeah,
it's tough. They're bubble based.
They'll battle every.
Yeah, we'll pick up their chat. We did ask, obviously, what was your favourite Trent moment? It's probably that, really. The corner against Barcelona, the memorable corner. And one for me that stands out.
I have a few.
When we won the league, when we absolutely demolished Leicester away from home, and he's just shushing the whole of Leicester's ground anyway. Getting the typical chance anyway, that we do. But the free kicks as well, Kev, those layoffs, the goal against Chelsea as well. I just love it when he gets that little layoff and then he just wraps it around the wall as well. He's such a good technical magician, to say the least.
To me, the ball to Salah with the Salah looping header. And the goal, that was a brilliant ball. I love that. The counter attack on City when he crossed field, an unbelievable pass right onto Robertson's toe, who then with the next touch crossed an unbelievable pass to Salah for that header for the second goal against City in the was it 3-1 the 3-1 I think it was in that one, and in the season that we went on to win the league. So it was, or did we go on to the? No, that was one before. But anyway, it was these kind of moments, man, just they stick out for me. You know, it's these long balls. It's his ability to open up a team. He needs to be in the position that he is, a bit deeper on that pitch, for those balls to be really effective. I don't think they're as effective when he's further up the pitch, which is why I'm thinking that he needs to learn. This inverted fullback role almost turns him into, as I was saying, like a CDM that doesn't need to be a CDM. He's sitting there after he moves in from his right back role. He's then the sitting CDM in front of the back line, and he's the one then that's dictating where the ball is coming back in the counter. Like every time the ball comes back out, he's receiving it. He's long balling it this way, long balling it that way. You know, unless they're really, a team is really pushing up on us, Trent has kind of a field day in that position.
It's probably like Pirlo. I know Pirlo was a central midfielder. The later his game did go, he was deeper. He sit deeper. And that's probably it's a great skill set that you will have, Trent.
Scholes did it for a bit in that position as well. Yeah,
100%. Did we discuss, this will be the final closing point on tonight's show as well, Nigel? Did we discuss why Trent isn't captain? He's more senior than Van Dijk and a local lad, Gerrard. I love
Klopp gives seniority to age and the players that they're the longest normally, but he likes a captain to be over a certain age in a team, and I don't think Trent passed that threshold. I think he likes having the longest senior player out of all of them there, which is probably Van Dijk. You know, Robertson is older than Trent, so you know Trent now in 2 or 3 years will be captain, and once Van Dijk kind of goes, hopefully Van Dijk can keep going until he's mid 30, 35, 36. That'd be great, you know. And he can look past the injury that Pickford gave him, because he's looking like he's getting past it at the moment. You know, he's going back to his sharpest. So, yeah, once those days come, Trent will be captain eventually. You know, he will, because he'll be a senior player, also being a local lad. He'll get. That's why he's vice captain at the moment, because he's been told. That's pretty much telling you you're the next captain.
Yeah.
You know, so there's no, it won't just go, oh, you're captain, you're vice captain. And now all of a sudden the vice captain gets nothing and the captaincy goes to somebody else. No, normally if you're still in that team, you're getting captain after that. So.
Yeah, and I think with that Nigel as well, Kev's spot on. For me, I think it comes down just to the quality as well. I think when you speak about players, I don't think any of us would be wanting to sit here and just because someone's a local or a Scouser, they should be getting the captaincy. I don't think any of us would. And I know that's not what you're saying, mate, but
it's ideal.
Yeah, it's ideal and it's great, and that's why I think we all love Gerrard so much. It was unheard of and unparalleled, really, that he was nearly bloody won a Ballon d'Or, Christ, and he was the player he was. Hopefully, in a couple of years, we do have the next Steven Gerrard coming through, but they are once every 100-year type players anyway. And Trent is, he's in terms of quality, obviously, he's great in his own right. But I think Trent, we will discuss the next 100 years of being Trent Alexander-Arnold. The fact that he's took the number 66 said a lot about it as well, in terms of him wanting to cement that number, make it his own. Everyone was like, why have you chose that number? He was like, yeah, I wanted to stand out. I want to be I want everyone to go to the club shop and get that number and go, why are you getting that? Because of Trent. Which is amazing, but little stories like that.
Plus, it's an easy number to retire if he ever leaves.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nobody's going to want to wear 66 again in the team, So,
I think Trent would thrive 100% there, Nigel. Hence why he's bloody been here for 7 years, mate. I just feel football's getting. Yeah, Mark. We'll probably do a show on that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Kev's down. We'll do something. Even if it's a little pre-recording for 10 minutes, I'll do a video with Kevin. I'll do a pre-recording tomorrow with Kev, probably in a pub, or might be an audio podcast. We'll just put the phone on the table and just have a little discussion. Really, 10, 15, 20-minute podcast. But Kev, massive thank you for coming on, mate. I will see you tomorrow. I know it's a busy day for you tomorrow, mate. But
I leave this house at about 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning. And I have to drive a couple of hours up to Shannon to get the flight. And then, I should be in at about 7 o'clock, 7:30 or something like that, 7:15 in the morning in Liverpool. So, see.
Happy days, man. Massive thank you for jumping on. Chat.
No bother.
Massive thank you. Big up to Mark. Big up Nigel as well. Big up Panov. Big up Redbirds as well. Geordie did pop in. Tom. Every single one is absolute legends. Eamon as well, and Panov, absolute bloody legends. If you're watching this on the repeat, do let us know your thoughts on this evening's show. Trent Alexander-Arnold, 7 years at Liverpool Football Club, and he's going to stay here for even longer. And what will he win in those next 5 years? Hopefully a lot more European Cups and Premier Leagues. I think he will do. Won't be too bad. But Reds, see you later. And
see you after.